Hal here with more Space Engineers, and we have gotten quite a bit done, actually. Got the second hangar in, got the first hangar situated, and we've started doing a little bit of armor work, but most importantly, we can walk in and out of our hangar now. Oh, and we've got a couple of large reactors online. So we'll talk about what's been going on, what changes have been made, and where we are. But first, we have to get started, so let's go. So, happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you had a fantastic week and are having a terrific Friday thus far. Yeah, so like I said, we've been a little bit busy off camera. We've gone ahead. The second hangar is actually in place, and it's actually, the whole thing is done a little bit more than the original hangar was. And as you can see, we actually have lights up in there now. And we now have some of the bays that I was talking about having the little side-mounted areas. Those are now in as well. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to actually make this into some kind of hangar space, or if we're going to pipe it through. And I'm thinking we're going to pipe it in. And what we'll do is we'll build this up a little bit, and we'll put in the player-controlled turrets. Or, you know, we might make a weapons bay out of it. Who knows? Now, there is going to be some sculpting done. This is basically getting us ready to start doing the outer skin area. Some of this will peek through. Some of this will be negative space, and we'll figure out where things go from there. I do want to do a bit of a skeletal build. We haven't done one in a while, so I'm thinking what we may do is actually have an outer, once we have everything on the core ship done, I'm thinking we're going to have some protrusions, and those protrusions will tie into an external skeletal frame. Now, one of the other things we are going to do is we're going to cut into some of this space. As you can see, we have some hangar doors here that, you know, I want to make sure are covered. And so what we're going to do is, as part of the skidding, we're going to have probably half-height armor there for portions of this. And potentially some full blocks and such. Now, one of the things that I did notice is when we're building the projectiles, we're going to run into a situation, because we're going to need a merge block, we're going to need a battery, and then for decoys especially, we're going to need a battery and then the decoy. But we also need a fourth block because we need the artificial mass. So right now, the way we have it set up, that would be merge block, battery, whatever the payload is, gravity block, right? So the doors on all of on the front will need to come up one layer. So I'm gonna have to rip those out, move the doors up, which is fine. I don't mind. But it is something that's going to impact all of our launchers. Where's the other launcher? There's the other launcher. So again, you're gonna have a merge block, battery, whatever, gravity. Oh, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and door. Did I only mess it up on the top? I may have only messed it up on the top. Payload, merge, payload, battery, or merge, battery, payload, gravity. Yep. So, okay, that's not too bad then. I was really scared that I was going to have to rip out a whole lot of stuff. Now, there is one area that I do actually have to rip out a whole lot of stuff. Our primary bomb bay. Yeah, this thing. Because we do have that problem here, where we have merge block, battery, payload, gravity. Whoa, so all of these doors that I had just finished welding up will have to come out. So... but we did go ahead and put some lights in here, so let's turn those on for you, just to show you what we got going on in here. We've got Battle Panda. We want Bombay lights. We're going to turn them all on. And, you know, epilepsy warning. It's flashing a little bit. Alright. So, yeah, if you are, if you're seizure sensitive, you may want to look away from the screen for a couple minutes. Let's turn those off. For that very reason. Off. There we go. But we will leave the red lights on. Because it's kind of nice to have a little bit of glow up here, right? So if we turn off our lamp. And so what it's set up for is that when you are ready to start loading things in, we're going to play with some of the timing blocks. And we're going to have different lights turning on and off when you're doing certain things. And this is basically just building that in right now, getting used to it and trying to figure out how everything's going to come together. We are also going to have some of these in here. And I think we're going to put just one in here to cut down on that strobe effect. And I don't remember how many blocks this is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Right there. So this light is probably going to come out, and we'll put the hazard light in. Or actually, how about if we just put the hazard light in? Could just put a hazard light in. But basically what we want to do is that we want that to be, we want some indicators when there's cycling going on in here. So with some of the airlocks that I've set up in the past using timer blocks and, well, mostly just timer blocks, it's nice to have some things that are showing indications so you don't have to go look at the system and see what everything is doing. You know, that's why you have these types of lights. So we're going to be using those a lot more. Okay, an area that I'm not happy with is this area here. I'm thinking that this is all blending together a little too much, but not in a good way. So what we end up with here is we're going to, if we don't change this, we're going to end up with a large flat area up here, and I don't want that. So we're going to take these guys out for right now, and we will revisit that. We will revisit this area probably a little bit later. I've got a couple of other things going on that I want to get done. And we will go over here and whoop, drop down into the wrong area. How are you all? Ah, okay, anyway. Haven't gotten to that point yet. Okay, so engineering section. Let's come over here. We'll go over to the other side. That's even more confusing. So I've kind of made a decision on what we're doing in here. We're going to do passageway blocks over to here and then out. And on this side, I was thinking to do a door, but we don't have the right number of, well, anything. So what I'm thinking what we're actually going to end up doing is we'll have a passageway, we'll use the passageway blocks here until it comes out there. Actually, I don't have any interior plates. Let's grab some plates really quick. And if you remember, we had like 23K steel plates. This is what we're down to. Just welding the stuff up that we have in here. That and now I don't have any mods for the passageway, so we only have the vanilla passageway block, which is unfortunate. I might come back and put the passages and more mod in, and I'm not thinking I'm gonna weld this up. I mean, I may change my mind on that, but I kind of like having this a little bit more of an industrial feel to it. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put a door here to make this an airlock. I might. We'll figure it out. One of the things that I do want to do is we are going to do walkways, and I think these guys are construction components. Because what we're going to do is we're going to turn this area into an actual engineering style maintenance area. So we'll end up with some stairs that go down in various places, some walkways that go around in here, so you'll be able to get in and, you know, inspect things. But that does mean that we're going to pressurize this. So since we're pressurizing it, I went ahead and closed off the area around the upper landing deck. And we will probably do windows down here. I haven't decided yet. You can come out of there. And we'll drop that there. Okay. Go light block. And so I may have it drop down in here so that you can get... That was interesting. Hey, look, I can fit through there. But so you can get back into these little tight areas. Come on. Ow, there we go. Maybe not that one. But, you know, just let you get back in here and see what's going on. If you need to fix some things, we'll have the same type of access way on the back, on both port and starboard side. And then one of the other things that we have is in the center here is that we have our large ion thrusters. So the idea is that if you need to fix them, this way you'll be able to fix them and not be outside this ship. Even if this area is not pressurized, I want to try and keep areas, keep the components accessible and undercover as much as possible, because we don't really want, you know, people sniping you or whatever if you're out and about. So I need components. I'm thinking, do I want to block this in? I think I want to block this in. And I may put the air vent there so that it's out of the way. I haven't decided yet. Now, one of the things that I am considering is, since we have everything piped through the reactors, I'm thinking about putting a conveyor junction in the middle of these conveyor runs, and then having it piped together into the conveyor junction in between each of the reactors. So this way, if something happens, like say we take a shot from the side and it knocks out one of the reactors, we don't have everything break. Because right now, if this reactor is destroyed or becomes inoperable, nothing on from the oxygen tank, which includes our welders down below, to the weapons would be operational. From that side, at least. Well, I mean, I guess we've already got one level of redundancy because it is passing through those reactors. So maybe that'll work. Maybe we'll just leave it like it is. And honestly, with the way that it's going right now, is there any reason for it? Because I mean, if we lose a lower connection part way, it's still running through the upper. If we lose the upper, it's still running through the lower. And if we lose much more than that, then we're probably losing the reactors and stuff anyway. So yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, so we'll just do some walkways in here, clean this up, and probably do an airlock back here. Let's do this. If we do that, so we end up with that, and then we will do heavy armor block right there. Just starting to close stuff off in here. You know what, I could do the air vent right there. Because is that actually? Let's see. Will that actually end up being sealed, or is that going to be exposed? That's going to determine where we put air vents and such. Okay, so that is actually going to be sealed. How much plates do I have? Not enough to weld that up. Okay. So if that is actually going to be sealed, we can put the air vent in here. Because that'll be blocked. That'll be welded up. And get rid of that one.
Energy critical.
And you'll be able to see the O2 system. That'll be welded, so that'll be sealed. That'll all be welded up and sealed. That'll be welded and sealed. Okay, so this, we don't need to worry about pressurizing, but we do want to make sure we can get through here. And we're going to do the same thing that we're talking about over there, over here. So what I'll need to do is go through and make sure we have all this evened out. Let's go there. We've got door there, door here, heavy block there. Okay. All right. And we'll leave this like it is. At least that part of it. Let's see. You're going to be a vent. Yes. And then that means you're going to need to be blocked off. And again, you can get to the other side of the ions here.
No energy.
So yeah, so it's not like I don't have plenty of health. It's fine. There you go. There we go. Okay. So that gets the bulk of this stuff figured out. Our launcher's back here. I want to make sure we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we do. Okay. Alright, so now I did go ahead and decide to remove the small lateral thrusters that we were using. We were using the small ion thrusters. And we're going to leave, I'm thinking we're going to leave this area back here open as kind of a little bit of armor spacing. But the armor shell is actually going to come out quite a bit. We may even extend that back further. But right now, the overall design, like the overall footprint of the ship is very square. So, the front end we're going to be extending a bit because we still have the engines here, or the thrusters I should say. We still need to add the cheek armor on the front here. We need to encase this in armor. And I do think I am going to build a large grav cannon on the front of this thing. So what I'm kind of thinking here is we have, say, let's see here, there, and that's going to be how far down? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 4. So this is where that's going to be our middle. Ah. Alright. So we're going to have a grav drive, actually. Oh, take all that out. I just realized I was thinking from actually the middle of the ship, and that is not where this is it's going to be firing from. So if we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's going to be there. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the conveyor lines up and into this area, and we'll probably end up with a small maintenance area to get in here. So we'll end up with something that comes through basically like this. So that's the center. 1, 2, 3. And so now, I think everybody's seen me build grav cannons a few times now. And we'll have the hangar doors will be on the front. I mean, I guess I could make this a little bit wider. I could go... So we'd have to do something like that if we wanted to do this. And then we would do hangar doors. Let's try that again. Alright, so if we do this, this gives us actually a fairly hefty cannon volume. I know what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4 is move. If we move it up 1, I'm trying to decide on, do I want the launcher to be lower or higher? Because if I do the launcher lower, that will allow us a bit more protection. One of the things that I'm thinking about here, how many plates do I have left? Is if we have this come back, grab some plates. Come on, Hal. It's not that late yet. So if we have the cannon built into here, right? Let's say we take this back that way. Not there. So instead of that, we do something like this. So we have part of the slope down a little bit. And up here. You come out there. Mining carriage, not worried about you. Okay. Got no time for you. And we do the same over here. Right, okay. So that gives us a very large flat plane, but we'll do some greebling on that, so don't worry about it. If we then bring you guys over like so, we did just go ahead and close all of that off, right? I may do a conveyor or a connector there, or not a connector, but a conveyor junction. And you went that way, so let's go something like that, maybe. Yeah. That might work.
Energy low.
Might work. Oh no, this is going to be the doubled up arm, isn't it? Yeah, that's the doubled arm. Okay. Never mind. Makes it a little easier because it means we don't have to think about it. All right. Yeah, so basically we're going to end up with that, which actually does make it much easier to deal with all of this stuff. Because you are going to be the same over here. Alright. So now if we go ahead and get all of this figured out. There you go. And we'll sculpt this area down a little bit because we're going to have the launch tube here. With the launch tube coming up a block, that's actually not too bad. We'll deal with that off camera. That gets us our cannon area. So the question is then, where are we going to where do we want the cannon to be mounted, here or here? I mean, I guess technically I could do both. Do a 2 wide block, or 2 block tall. That could actually work pretty well. What is directly behind that?
Meteor storm inbound.
So if we did a 2 wide.
Energy critical.
Falling over there. Okay. Alright, so if we do 2 wide, we would do 2 of these. And the idea is that because we have 2 grav gens, what we'll be able to do is have a projectile with the artificial mass blocks on it. Hopefully get a little bit of additional acceleration off of it so that it'll be going faster by the time it gets out. Now, if we really want to go crazy, and I think we do, we'll have to do one.
No energy.
Keen, if you're watching this, power drains way too quickly now. We need character models with additional, basically be able to hold more O2, more hydrogen, or more power or something. Well, there are some amazing mods that people have done for skins that add some interesting functionality to the spacesuits. Come on, Keen, you got it. Step up the game, guys. Alright. So what I'm thinking is we may. So that's a merge block. That's a merge block, right? Yeah, two gravity generators on an accelerator. As an accelerator. Should work. That should be enough. We're not gonna go overkill. At least without removing our speed restrictions. Since we're using the vanilla the vanilla speed cap. If we were using one of the modded speed caps, I would probably put a couple more generators in. Back when I was doing gravity cannons all the time, I had one that had I want to say 64 Gs of power behind it. So when you'd fire it, there was actually recoil from the ship. Because the way that the timing was set up, the merge blocks would turn off as the grav generator turned on, and because the way the whole thing was set, when it fired off, the ship would actually recoil a little bit. It was hilarious. So much fun. All right. And then that gives us plenty of room to do batteries, warheads, gravity, whatever we want to do. And I think, you know what we should do? If we're going to do that. Because you're going to be there. So we want you and you. So is there any sides just on the flats? So if we're just doing flats, yeah, just on the, so just on those, not on those. Damn. Alright. That sucks. Yeah, okay. Yep. So what we'll need is, what I'll probably end up doing then is just doing this. Because it's going to be easier than dealing with everything else. And so that way when we have a merge block, the merge block won't stick to anything. And we'll be able to have a nice little surprise for people. Alright. Excuse me. Hiccups. See, I told you, every time I start recording, I get about 15, 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, start getting hiccups. Man. Alright, so we want you out of there and you in. Okay. Oop. There you go. And there. Alright. So that serves two purposes. One, it keeps the merge blocks from sticking to everything, and two, it allows us to seal it in. And we're gonna have those there, and I'm thinking we'll probably do, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the holographic projectors. Yeah, I guess we'll just do them one at the top, one at the bottom. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 6. So yeah, we can make a pretty hefty bolt out of something. And what we'll probably do is we'll probably cap it with blast doors at the end, just for a little extra mass. So when it hits, you know, it's going to hit hard. Alright. Okay. I think that's gonna do it. And that gets us most of the way through here. Take these out. And do this instead. Gives us something to aim with. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm thinking maybe just something, a little something, right? A little something easy to deal with. I may bring those out further. I may bring this a bit further forward. Oh, what we could do, so we could say that. There you go. And we're gonna go that way. Let's go there. There you go. And then that brings us back this way. Gives us a little bit of a racing stripe feel to it, right? Because remember, I don't like large flat areas that aren't detailed. So what we may do, and then this will, we're not going to be able to greeble that easily. So maybe we'll do full blocks all the way down. So full blocks this way, and then have these be half blocks. That could be interesting, actually. If we take you guys out, and let's go. Right. And then from here-ish, maybe? No, because I need it to be... What does that look like from the front? It's not too bad. So that gives us a little bit more, a little bit more on the front. We still need this area to be done, and I'm thinking, what I'm thinking here for the aft portion is, because we've got habitation, like all of our crew quarters, at least the like the fighter pilot kind of crew quarters, are midship. So I'm thinking back here, maybe another 2 large cargo containers. And possibly an area for, like a docking area, I guess, to get onto the ship. I haven't decided yet. Because we've got 2 large cargo containers. Maybe 2 more. Yeah, maybe 2 more. Because we still have to do the primary thrusters and braking thrusters. And so what I was thinking is, with the way we have the ship set up right now, is incorporate the thrusters into these cheek areas here. Let's go ahead and close that off. Let's make sure we've got the one on the other side blocked. We do. Okay. So what I'm thinking, and this is probably going to change
Energy
between
low.
Today's video and Monday's video, but for now, thinking something like that. And right there. And probably end up with something. I guess maybe we could even. Even do something like that. So the idea being that these would cut away. So what we'll do then is have the outside piece sloped, have it ramped from lower ship upwards, so it's swept back, and then the cowling for the cannon would be swept forward. So to give you an idea, so let's say it comes out like another, I don't know, how is that, 6? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 7. And what we'll do is we'll have, say, this area. So we end up with something like that.
Energy critical.
And we just kind of walk our way back from here. If we do that, to that, and kind of just rinse and repeat. I mean, we could even go something like this even. Yeah. Or have it, actually it'll probably start down here somewhere. Somewhere like here, say. Let's go, yeah, we could actually take this up a little bit. Let's go grab some power again. Let me in, thank you. Run! Oh, that was close. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so that basically what we're talking about here is something that's going to, let's grab you out real quick. We want something that's basically going to make us a little bit more aggressive. You know, and having some fun with it here. Let's go the other way. There we go. So if we do that to there. And let's say we go. No. We do something like that. And let's go to here. So we end up with something a bit more aggressive. And I'm thinking that needs to come out. Let's go. So something like that, maybe. But you see what I'm saying is we'll maybe bring it out further and have it roll. And then on this side, since we've got the everything here already, we could do something like this. And so that ends up rolling back. Let's see how that looks. What's that looking like? I am kind of liking that. And this has the benefit of basically if somebody's shooting in from the side, they're not, unless they know that the cannon's here, they're going to think that they're hitting something, you know. It's like maybe it's a hangar or something. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Of course, I might also just have it wrap down a bit and then arc in. That could be something. I don't know. We'll play with a couple of different designs. Oh, but I think that is going to do it for us today. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw those down in the section below. Always fun to see what you folks say and, you know, what your thoughts happen to be on some of this stuff. I get some good ideas from y'all. So, yeah. If you're new to the channel, haven't done so already, and you really did enjoy it, make sure you hit that subscribe. And if you want to be kept up to date, don't forget to click that little bell icon as well. On that note, we're going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Just have a few more things to figure out here. I kind of like the idea of this being open. Maybe we could do something with it where we go something like that. And same on this side. Oh, hell, I know what we could do. If we wanted to be really fancy, we could just do something like that. Ew. Shiny. Have to play around with this design. This might be something.